Passive income is not for the middle class. I'm sure you've seen the videos. Some influencer on your feed telling you they built 3 or 4 passive income streams. No 9 to 5, no boss. 4 to 5 lakh rupees landing in their account every single month while they're enjoying life on a beach with their friends. And watching that, most of us would feel guilty. Everyone else has already figured this out and we're still stuck trading our hours for a salary. I'm not saying this to crush that dream. I'm saying it because I've heard the same claims repeated in so many videos that at some point I stopped believing in them and decided to actually check out the facts. So I did two things. First, the obvious one. I sat down and pulled up every popular passive income idea people are talking about right now. Not 5, not 10. I kept on going until I had watched over 100 different videos on this topic. These are the ideas that are being actively consumed by crores of people with a smartphone listening to these influencers. And second, I went and found people I actually know. I looked into the ones who genuinely do have passive income and I wanted to know exactly where it came from. And in this journey, I found out what the fake tips are and what exactly you need to do to start building real passive income in your life. So here's how I started. I first sorted all these ideas which I watched on YouTube into different categories or piles. I went in with an open mind. My goal was not to ask why this is not working. I truly wanted to know what does each idea actually demand from you before any passive income actually starts coming in. So here's how it looked. Pile number 1. Stocks, mutual fund, SWPs, SIPs, FDs. I found out that every one of these asks for the same starting point, which is money sitting ready in your bank account before any of it starts to happen. Pile number 2. Rental property, Airbnb, land. Same demand, but much more heavier. Not just asking for money, but a lot of money upfront before a single rupee of passive income starts coming in. Pile number 3. YouTube, blogging, online courses, writing ebooks. This one surprised me the most. Almost none of these needed serious money to start. All of you can easily start. But they demanded something else. Time. Hours and hours spent learning a skill nobody hands you for free. And pile number 4, I saw that drop shipping, small businesses, SaaS products, all these were being promoted a lot. It demanded the ability to take a risk and for you to survive in the game, in the business, even in months where things are not going your way. So 4 piles. On the surface, they looked completely different. But as I kept staring at them, one thing kept standing out. Underneath it all, every single idea was asking the exact same questions. 1. Do you have spare money? 2. Do you have spare time? 3. Do you have a skill that you can monetize? And 4. Can you afford to take a risk? That felt like the complete answer. 4 locks are standing between you and passive income. 4 locks that you need to open one by one. But then I noticed one more thing which I wanted you to know. Something most passive income videos never mention. Even after you start working on one of these passive income ideas, most of them never leave you fully alone. A rental property still needs a tenant to be managed. A YouTube channel still needs fresh videos or the views die. Even a dividend portfolio needs occasional rebalancing. So here's the 5th lock too, not to get started, but to actually keep it running. So 5 locks: money, time, skill, risk, and maintenance. So I understood that all those 100+ YouTube videos were really just asking one question. Which of these 5 locks can you actually open? Before I go further, tell me honestly in the comments, which of these locks are you ready to open in your life right now and which ones feel impossible for you? I actually want to know because it's going to matter for the rest of the video. Now let's go lock by lock. When watching all of these online videos, I also understood that there is one underlying lie that all of them are selling us. It is that everyone is playing the same game. Think about it. We might live in the same city, but we don't share the same reality. I'll try to make you understand this point by giving you some real examples. So I took 2 friends of mine. I'm changing their names here. Let's call them Vikram and Vijay. Both are 28. Let's see how they live their lives through these 5 locks. Meet Vikram. He works a mid-level IT job, rides a scooter through crazy daily traffic, and carries the weight of his family's expectations. It's the 5th of the month. Vikram stands on a crowded metro and opens his banking app. The calculations begin instantly. EMIs have already been deducted, the rent is gone, and nearly half of his salary has vanished before he even had a look into it. He stares at the screen, calculating how to stretch whatever is left until the 30th of the month. He does his math subconsciously now, the same way he breathes. The workday is over, but Vikram's day is not. Pushing open the door to his 1 BHK means that he is just going to start his second shift. There are dishes in the sink that are left there from the morning. There are clothes that need washing. Dinner won't cook itself. Vikram spends the next 3 hours of his evening just keeping his life functional. So when does Vikram actually learn anything new? Midnight. After all of his office work and housework, eyes burning, Vikram sits down to learn an online course till he falls asleep. He spends 18 months on trial and error, taking wrong turns and hitting dead ends because nobody around him could afford to warn him what actually works and what does not. He pays for knowledge with his extra energy. And let's say Vikram finally saves a little money and builds a skill. He wants to take a risk, maybe launch a side business. But if Vikram fails, he actually fails. If he jumps and misses, he hits concrete. There is no cushion in his life. And even if he wins, if Vikram actually gets his business running, there is a fifth cost that we talked about earlier. He has to keep doing it between his day job. He has to keep it alive. He is the one picking up angry client calls at 11 PM on top of a job that already took his whole day. He won, but he is exhausted after all of this. That is Vikram's side of the story. Now let's look at another friend. Let's call him Vijay. Meet Vijay. He wears a crisp linen shirt, sits in the air-conditioned backseat of a car and has a kind of calm that only comes from family wealth. I'm not saying he does not have any tensions in his life, but it is very different from what you're thinking. Let's look at how he attacks the 5 locks. On the 5th of the month, Vijay also opens the exact same banking app. The balance has dipped from paying his bills, but he feels absolutely nothing. The number has not dropped enough to actually matter for him. Not because Vijay is careful with money, but because he has enough in there that the math, the calculations, they simply do not matter. At 7 PM, Vijay's evening starts the second he steps into his apartment. The house is spotless because a house help was paid to clean it. Dinner is hot and waiting or arrives at the door without a second thought. Both men had the same evening hours, but Vijay gets to choose what he wants to do with it. Vikram had to spend his entire evenings just surviving. When it comes to learning a new skill, Vikram's earlier 18 months of struggle is compressed into 18 days for Vijay. Why? Because he could pay a mentor to tell him what actually works. Vijay isn't smarter than Vikram here. He just doesn't have to spend his energy finding out lessons the hard way. And when Vijay takes a risk and it fails, it's just a bad year for him. A learning experience. Do you understand? He can afford to be fearless here because there was always a safety net beneath him. And when Vijay actually succeeds, he doesn't take on the late night stress. He just pays a person to worry about all of that, making his income truly passive. So you see what happened here. Same day, same city, 5 completely different locks, even though they look the very same. So here's what I understood from all of my research. It's not that passive income is impossible for the middle class. The lie is calling it passive. For Vijay, it looks effortless because someone else spent a generation breaking these locks open for him. He didn't build passive income. He inherited an open door and called it passive, when in reality, he never even had to face half the locks. For Vikram, every one of those 5 locks has to be forced open by hand on top of a day job. That's the hardest, most invisible active income there is, sold back to him as passive, so he keeps watching these online videos instead of questioning them. And all the influencers who actually truly built their passive income, trust me, I know, because they are calling it passive only because they're having a distribution channel to sell any product and service. The people who are selling the online courses, the books, and calling it truly passive income are hiding a lot of real expenses in their life. But don't be demotivated. I found one pattern that gives you hope. Vijay, my friend, did not open every single lock one by one. He really opened only one, money. And that one lock knocked the other 4 open for him. The money bought him time. The time and the money got him a mentor, so skill came faster. Knowing he had a safety net made risk feel small. And once he had money, time, and skill, building a passive income was easy for him. So one lock was solved, 4 more opened as a chain reaction because of it. It works the exact same way for you. Check which locks are already open or closed in your life. If you're starting from zero, I would suggest that you open your time lock first so that suddenly you have a lot of hours to start building a skill. Get that skill and you start getting more confidence. Risk stops feeling so scary because now you know actually what you're going to do. I've seen people actually do this, building Instagram distribution and getting ad revenue, selling Excel sheets by building habit trackers for their audience, unlocking real money from a side income that will eventually turn truly passive. Even if you're in a salaried job and not wanting to attack passive income, still attack the skill lock. Improving your skills so that you can demand more money from your employer is a really good strategy. And if you're fortunate enough to have any of the above locks already open in your life through your own work or through your friends and family around you, embrace it. Be like Vijay and don't be all noble and try to build everything from scratch. The world is an unfair place. Use every single unfair advantage that you have. And if you don't have that, start building those unfair advantages. Now that you know the 5 locks standing in front of you, pick the one that's already the closest. Go force your locks open and money will follow.